Goeiemôre vriende, ek vertrou julle het 'n heerlike nagrus gehad. Ons gaan aan vanoggend, ons trek nou al daarin by session 13, Genesis 7. En ons doen vandag vers 3 tot 23, Genesis 7, 3 tot 23. OK, ons lees saam Genesis 7 vers 3. Of fowls also of the air by sevens, the male and the female, to keep all zera, all seed, alive upon the face of the earth. En ek het so rukkie terug 'n voice note op die groepie gesit oor Adam, of hy swart of wit was, en ons het 'n bietjie gesels oor die saad en die DNA en die genetika van hierdie diere en van die mense in die begin. En ons het gesels oor hoe daar net van elke soort een paar van die onreindiere en 7 pare van die reindiere in die ark toegelaat is. En soos Jehovah hier sê, to keep all seed alive upon the face of all the earth. Daar was so 'n huge DNA pool in daardie oorspronklike paar of 7 pare. En soos ons gesels het in daai ander voice note, ek hoop julle almal het hom geluister, daar was genoeg genetiese inligting in die oorspronklike wolfpaar vir al die honde wat ons vandag upon the face of the earth kan sien. Daar was die chihuahuas en poedels en bulldogs en boerboele en dobermans op die ark nie. Daar was een soort, die oorspronklike soort, male en female. En ons almagtige God het genoeg genetika in daai oorspronklike paar ingesit vir al die breeds om uit hulle uit te kom. Daar was een paar eende, of wel, eende is reindiere, so daar was 7 paar eende, maar jy sal later sien, Noag het hulle begin eet, en wat na die ark kon hulle vleis begin eet, en hulle is gebruik om gesacrifice te word, the fowls and the animals that was used for sacrifice. Maar in daardie oorspronklike paar eende is daar genoeg genetika in gewees vir al die tipe eende wat ons vandag sien upon the face of the earth, so that the seed will be alive and remain alive upon the face of the earth. Prys die Vader wat wetenskaplik en biologies en fisiologies alles ingebou het in DNA wat jy nie eers met jou oog kan sien nie. DNA wat mense, scientists, eers nou onlangs regtig begin verstaan het God al gebruik soos 'n stuk papier waarop hy al die inligting kon skryf van al die breeds wat ons in elke soort dier sien vandag upon the face of the earth. Dit is amazing vir my. Genetika en biologie en science is die bewys van hoe slim en astronomies hierdie God is wat alles geskaap het. Vers 4. So God sê nou vir Noag, julle moet nou ingaan en al die diere gaan in. En dan vers 4. For in 7 days from now on, so kom in die ark in. En oor 7 dae van nou af, I will cause it to rain upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. En die van julle wat nou al weet, 40 is 'n messiaanse getal. As julle deur julle Bybels gaan en julle lees deur alles en alles wat julle kry wat 40 is, kan julle sien dit is so 'n wonderlike messiaanse voorspelling. En Joshua wat 40 dae in die woestyn was, daar soveel oor 40. For in 7 days I will cause it to rain upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights, and every living substance that I have made I will destroy from off the face of the earth. En ons verstaan nou, ons het deur die moeilike Genesis 6 gewerk. Ons verstaan dat die gene en die DNA wat God op die ark toegelaat het, was nie corrupted en spoiled met die saad van die Nephilim nie. En ons verstaan nou hoekom het hy die res gedestrooi. Want op die einde van die dag is hy nie 'n genocidal maniac wat net alles wil doodmaak nie. Daar's 'n rede en 'n plan agter alles wat hy gedoen het. En sonder Genesis 6 verstaan 'n mens nie Genesis 7. In hierdie wêreld kyk na Genesis 7 en sê, wat 'n God is dit? Ek kan nie so God aanbid of so God lief hê nie. maar ons verwerp hom, of die wêreld verwerp hom, want hulle ken hom nie, hulle ken nie sy woord nie, en hoe slim is die ou serpent in die boom van kennis, wat sy kennis, sy saad, sy woord versprei, reg oor die wêreld, en mense gevangene hou, in doktrinasie, wat inkorrek is, wat nie korrek is nie, wat nie reg is nie, en die wêreld verwerp hierdie God van die Bybel, hierdie God van die Ou Testament, hulle verwerp hom, maar ons wat nou Genesis 1-6 al deurgewerk het, kan sien en verstaan, dat sy genade actually verskriklik groot was, om daarom nog die skoon saad te bewaar, in die ark, in die beskerming van sy liggaam, sy ark, Ark of the Covenant, Ark of Noah, wat binne en buite met pik besmeer was, die ark was binne en buite met goud besmeer, en dis waar sy Teshuva, as ons terugkeer na hom toe, dis kom in sy ark in, dan is ons deel van daardie plan van oorlewing. Hierdie was sy plan van oorlewing vir sy saad, vir die mense wat sy saad in hulle hart dra. En die res van die saad vernietig hy, en ons het gepraat, hierdie is die eerste vernietiging gewees, die tweede een is met vuur. Hierdie is nie 'n genocidal God wat net wil doodmaak nie. Hierdie is 'n genadige God, wat hulle wat opkyk na hom, at least 'n kans gee om te survive. Maar kom ons praat bietjie oor, hoekom 7 dae? Hoekom 7 dae? Hoekom het hy nie hulle laat inkom en dit dadelik laat begin reën nie? Waaroor gaan hierdie ding nou? Kom ons spring gou na vers 15 toe. And they went in, dis nou Noag se hele gesin en al die diere. And they went into Noah, into the Teva, the ark, 2 by 2 of all flesh, in which is the breath of Chaim. And they went in, male and female of all flesh, as Yahweh commanded Torah him. En luister hierna. And Yahuwah shut him in. Vers 16. And Yahuwah shut him in. They, and all the animals, the creeping things, the fowls, went in. And who closed the door? It says there in verse 16, Yahuwah shut them in. Where was Yahuwah? Inside or outside the ark? If he shut them inside, if he shut them in, he was in the ark with them. Remember the correlation between the Ark of Noah and the Ark of the Covenant. Where is the people when the Ark of the Covenant was going with them through the wilderness on the way to the promised land? Where was the people? Inside the camp, close to the ark. Outside the camp there was no protection, but inside the camp, and where was their God? He was sitting on the mercy seat inside the tabernacle, on the Ark of the Covenant, inside, together with his people, inside the camp. Revelation 22:14. Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life, and may enter inside, in, through the gates, into the city. Verse 15. For outside are dogs and sorcerers and whoremongers and murderers and idolaters, and whoever loveth and maketh a lie. Onthou die leuen, die vader van die leuns is Satan in die boom van kennis. The Revelation, kyk hoe mooi praat Revelation, dieselfde as vers 15 van Genesis 7. Inside, you can come into the city. If you keep his commandments, you've got right to the tree of life, and you can come into the city. Because outside are all of those that believe the lie from the tree of knowledge. So inside die ark was Noag en sy gesin en al die diere. And outside was die res van die wêreld wat vir Noag gelag het. So the God of Israel, together with his righteous children, his bride, is inside the ark, inside the covenant. And everyone else is outside. And then Yahuwah himself shut the door. And for 7 days, the whole world was standing outside the ark, laughing, mocking, jesting, hating, blaspheming, cursing the stupid people inside the ark. And there's no rain. For 7 days, here's the ark standing, Noah inside, people throwing stones at them, laughing at them. You're not even close to the ocean. What are you doing with an ark on dry land, you stupid Noah? How strong was Noah's conviction that his God did not let him do all of this, building an ark for 120 years, just to get laughed at. How strong will our faith and belief and trust in our God be when the time of the end comes? But the things we warned everyone about is not yet happening. Read 22, Revelation 22 verse 14 again. Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life and may enter in through the gates into the city. Outside are the dogs and the sorcerers and the whoremongers and the murderers and the idolaters, and whoever love and maketh a lie. En as ons elkeen van hierdie goed opbreek, dogs, dit represent wat ons verstaan het gister van clean and unclean animals. Die unclean animals, het gaan nie net oor die fisiese eet van die dier nie. Dit gaan oor die uncleanness van jou hart, soos wat Joshua verduidelik het. Hulle is buitekant. Hulle is nie binne saam met ons nie. Maar van buite af is hulle baie en ons is min. Hoe gaan ons geloof in dit wat hy ons beveel het om te doen, en dit wat hy beloof het gaan kom? Hoe gaan ons faith ons dra, om die laughing en die mocking en die scorning te kan hanteer, totdat gebeur wat hy beloof het? Revelation 22 verse 10, And he said unto me, Seal not the sayings of the prophecy of this book, for the time is at hand. En luister na die volgende versie, vers 11. He that is unjust, let him be unjust still. And he that is filthy, let him be filthy still. And he that is righteous, let him be righteous still. And he that is holy, set apart, let him be set apart still. So terwyl die deur toegemaak is, en ons binne in die ark is, en ons weet die impending judgment is close at hand, it's on its way, sê dit vir ons, as jy just is, en righteous en holy, bly binne in die ark, remain just and righteous and holy. En as jy unjust en unrighteous en filthy en unholy is, bly dan so, bly buite die ark. Because, verse 10, the time is at hand. When the time of the end is at hand, and we have proven that our faith in him is not just for when times are easy, then he will stretch and test your faith even more. For the bride must be blameless. Blameless. Otherwise the accuser, the serpent, has got accusations against the bride. 1 Corinthians 1 verse 8. Who shall also confirm you, Joshua? He shall confirm you unto the end. Keep you unto the end. Make you strong unto the end, that you may be blameless in the day of the coming of our Master Yeshua, Moshiach. Sien julle, Genesis 7, Revelation 22, 1 Korintiërs 1. Hy sal jou daar binne in die ark bewaar, en jou sterk hou, om te endure to the end, so that you can be blameless. Laat hulle wat buite is, buite wees. Noag het 120 jaar vir hulle gepreek, hulle het nie tot bekering gekom nie. Maak seker jy preek, maak seker jy leef, jy skyn jou lig, jy lewe Yeshua uit, vir jou 120 jaar, of hoe lang jy ook al leef. Maar as hy ark gesluit word, as hy deur toegemaak word deur God homself, wat binne in die ark saam met sy bruid is, as daai ark eers toe is hy toe, and them that are filthy is going to remain filthy. And then, when all hell breaks loose, then the unjust, the filthy, the blaspheming, the disobedient of Revelation 22 in ons tyd, and of Genesis 7 in Noah's tyd, then they will start banging on the door of the ark. Noah could not open for them, even if he wanted to. God himself has shut the door. 7 verse 16. Just like in the days of the plagues in Egypt. Exodus 8:21. Moses said to Pharaoh, "Else, if you will not let my people go, behold, God will send swarms of flies upon you, and upon your servants, and upon your people, and into your houses. And the houses of the Egyptians shall be full of swarms of flies, and also the ground whereon they are. And I will sever in that day the land of Goshen, in which my people dwell, that no swarms of flies shall be there, to the end that you may know that I am the Lord in the midst of the earth." Sien julle hierso? Exodus 8, vers 23. "And I will put a division, a separation, holiness, set apart, kadosh. I will put a division between my people and your people." Lees julle, gaan lees Exodus 8. En hier sien ons dit weer eens, saam met Openbaring, saam met Korintiërs, saam met Genesis 7. Outside are those that is getting the plagues and the curses. But my people in the land of Goshen will receive no swarms of flies, so that you, Pharaoh, and the whole world can see that I am God. There's a division between my people and Egypt's people. En ons weet, ons kom uit Egipte uit op pad na die beloofde land toe. Egipte is symbolies, Mitzrayim, is symbolies van die wêreld, van sonde, van slawerny, van die leuen, van die boom van kennis, se koninkryk, die koninkryk van duister. So God sê, en dis hoekom ek nie glo in 'n pre-tribulation rapture nie. Ons het nou Genesis 7 gesien, en ons het Revelation gesien, wat 'n boek is wat vir ons geskryf is. En Korintiërs, Paulus sê vir ons moet vas bly staan in hom tot die einde toe. Hy sal ons keep to the end. En die eerste Exodus is vir ons 'n voorbeeld van die tweede Exodus. Terwyl die pla val, terwyl die judgment val, terwyl hy sy judgment oor die wêreld bring, oor sy vyande, en oor hulle wat hom skoon en blaspheme, hou hy sy bruid veilig. And there's a division between his people and the world's people. And through that, the world will realize he is the God of the earth. If his bride, his people, are set apart by him, there is a division between the world and his people. Then his bride is kadosh. Remember we talked about kadosh is the Hebrew for holy, and it means to be set apart, from the rest of the world and from the doctrines of religious systems of this world, set apart to only eat from the tree of life, the truth. Then his bride is kadosh inside Egypt, but protected from the judgment. Then his bride is kadosh inside the ark, but protected from the devastation of massive tsunamis and floods outside. Then his bride is kadosh inside the ark of the covenant, protected by the Torah. Remember, the Torah is inside the ark of the covenant, protected by the word of God that became flesh, protected while inside the world, while the judgment of God starts pouring outside. Remember this when we get to tomorrow's session. Remember that we are kept protected until the ark finally comes to rest after the floods have dissipated. We will talk about that. It is extremely significant. The exact day that the ark came to rest. It is profound, but we'll talk about that tomorrow. Why else will Yeshua plead over and over and over again? Revelation 2:7. To him that overcome will I give to eat from the tree of life, which is in the midst of the paradise of Yahuwah. Revelation 2:11. He that overcome shall not be hurt by the second death. Revelation 2:17. He that overcome will I give to eat of the hidden manna. Revelation 3:5. He that overcome, the same shall be clothed in white raiment, white clothes. Revelation 3:12. Him that overcome will I make a pillar in the temple of my God. Revelation 3:21. To him that overcome will I grant to sit with me on the throne. Overcome. Overcome what? Some translation says, to those that endure to the end. Endure what? That word overcome and endure is the Greek, in the Greek Strong's G3528, Nikao, and the Thayer definition is to conquer, to carry off in victory, to come off victorious. If Yeshua conquers, he's victorious over all his enemies. Of Christians that hold fast their faith even unto death, against the power of their enemies, temptations, and persecutions. This is the Strong's definition of the word overcome. When one is arraigned or goes to law to win a case, to maintain your lawful legal case, that is to overcome. Remember, the whole world is standing for 7 days outside of the ark. You are inside the ark, being laughed at. You've already overcome this world. You have chosen the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob above all else. Now it's the time of the end. Remember, the first judgment was water. The second one will be by fire. We are protected of judgment, but we are seeing the judgment. If we look outside the window, there were windows in the ark. If we look through the window, we can see. As we looked out our windows when we lived in Egypt, we can see the swarms of flies pestering everyone in Egypt. As we painted the blood on our doors, the blood of the lamb, as we painted this on our doors in Egypt, we could see the dark angel of death approaching, and we hid ourselves inside the houses, inside the ark, trusting and hoping that God's promise of the blood on the doorpost, trusting him that this blood will really protect us. Trembling, waiting. We hear the screams and the cries, and mothers and fathers wailing and shouting and panicking because their firstborn was struck by the angel of death. Will we be protected? Will he protect us inside this house with the blood on the doorpost? Will he protect us inside the ark with the earth breaking open and the waters gushing out from above and from below? How must Noah have felt? How must Israel have felt in Egypt when all this was happening? They were inside. The rest were outside. To overcome the physical world and all its religious doctrines and traditions, the spiritual temptations, the persecutions, and to do this in truth, not being deceived by the whispering serpent in the tree, or the angel of light. That sounds so good. We need to stay on the narrow path to overcome all this. Matthew 7:14, because strait is the gate and narrow is the way which leads unto life, and few there be that find it. Listen, while we read this, think of Noah. Straight is the gate. For all his life, he walked on this narrow, straight path. He was the only one who was found righteous in the eyes of God by the time he decided to destroy the earth. And narrow is the way which leads unto life. Noah walked this way, and few there is that found it. Few there is that actually walked that little steps up into the ark. Few. There's only a few people inside the ark. There's only a few people of the first Exodus that actually went into the promised land. Narrow. Matthew 7:14. Narrow is the way. That word narrow, Strong's Concordance G2346. Tlibo. I don't know if I pronounce it correctly. Doesn't matter. Narrow in the Greek definition is to press. To press hard upon, like when you press grapes to bring out juice. That's what this word narrow means. To press hard upon. It's a compressed way. The narrow way, guys, is a compressed way. Noah was compressed. He was pressed from all sides, but he kept on the way. It's a narrow, straight, contracted path. Metaphorically, the metaphor of narrow is trouble, affliction, distress. This narrow path is not narrow without a reason. People don't want to walk on this path because it's going to press upon you. It's going to press upon your faith. So narrow is the way, hard pressed is the way, compressed is the way, affliction is the way. Egypt's name is not really Egypt. That's just your translation. Its actual name is Mitzrayim. And the root word of Mitzrayim has the meaning of constriction and affliction. The narrow road is only for the kadosh ones, the set-apart ones of the king. And as they travel on this narrow road, inside the ark, to get from Egypt, to get from being pressed out of Egypt into the ark, as you are pressed on this road, virgin olive oil is pressed out of his bride. Because remember Romans 11, Jeremiah 11, Israel, the people that overcomes with El, is his bride. And his bride is compared to the olive tree. So when the olive tree is walking on this compressed road, we are pressed. And virgin olive oil, pure olive oil, is pressed out of you. Now you read the parable of the 10 virgins again. See what the oil is. An obedient lifestyle like Noah is not enough. But having your faith tested above the normal obedience. Because, listen, it's already difficult enough in a world that does not obey for us to obey. It's already difficult enough to walk in the truth while all the world is eating from the tree of knowledge. But what really brings out the pure olive oil, that is, and only the pure olive oil is good enough to use in the menorah, in the tabernacle, in the holy place. Only the pure olive oil is good enough for service to God. The fruit of our hands, the gift of our bodies. Remember we talked about Romans 12 yesterday. Sacrifice your bodies as a living sacrifice to God. And when you live an obedient lifestyle, after the blood of the Lamb has saved you from the angel of death, now, on this last stretch of road, until judgment falls, our faith is being tested further. Because there was 10 virgins. 5 of them did not make it. But they weren't prostitutes. They were virgins. The testing of your faith is going to be what's going to make the difference if you endure to the end, even while you are shut inside the ark and nothing is happening yet. Your endurance on this road, hard-pressed road, will bring out the pure olive oil. And only that can be offered to God for the light that needs to shine from the menorah in the darkness. So the road, my friends, will become more narrow. Yeshua said it over and over again. Endure. 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 You have to endure. Revelation is written for the last days. In Greek, the word revelation is apocalypsis. And the root word is to uncover, to reveal, to take off the cover, to lay open. Just like our sins were uncovered and laid open in Genesis 3. Remember? And we saw that we were naked. What is the Hebrew word for reveal? We know the Greek word for reveal is apocalypsis. What is the Hebrew word for reveal? Deuteronomy 29:29. The secret things. Oh, and haven't we uncovered so many secret things together already, friends? The secret things belong unto the Lord our God. But those things which are revealed belong unto us and our children forever, that we may do all the works of his law. That word reveal, Deuteronomy 29:29. But those things which are revealed belongs to us. The Hebrew word for revealed is Galah. Amos 3 verse 7. For the Master Jehovah does nothing unless he reveals his secret to his servants, the prophets. But the serpent in the tree of knowledge wants to keep you away from the prophets, because that's Old Testament, right? That's for the Jews, right? No. The book of Revelation is for us. The word reveal in Hebrew is Galah. Remember this. We're gonna uncover the secret. Remember, we agreed that God said that he will scatter Israel all over the earth. But in the last days, he will return us to him. And Revelation is written for the last days. Let's test and see if Revelation is really written for the scattered lost sheep from the house of Israel. Let's see if God himself will gather again all the exiles by the hand of the shepherd. So the word reveal is Galah, and that's Strong's H1540. Oh, listen. Galah, a primitive root to denude, to make your nudity no more nudity. Oh, beautiful. Especially in a disgraceful sense. By implication, to exile. Captives being usually stripped. Concentrate. Galah, reveal, revelation. The root word is by implication, because exiles, captives, slaves were always stripped. They were nude. Figuratively, to reveal, to advertise, appear, to bring, to carry, to lead the captives. Depart, disclose, discover, exile, be gone, open, explainly, publish, remove, reveal, uncover. So the Greek and the Hebrew agrees with the uncovering of the nakedness. But again, like I said to you, Hebrew is God's language. And in the Hebrew, it goes further and it explains to us it's the uncovering of the exiles, of the slaves, of captives, of people that were scattered like slaves all over the world. Wow! Read Deuteronomy 4 again. and see how God says how this will happen, this uncovering of the exiles, of the scattered people. Deuteronomy 4:27, and the Lord shall scatter you among the nations, and you shall be left few. Noah was few in the ark. You will be left few in number among the heathen, where you are scattered between all these nations and tribes and tongues. And there you shall serve gods, the work of men's hands, wood and stone. But if from there you shall seek Yahuwah your Elohim, you shall find him, if you seek him with all your heart and all your soul. When you are in tribulation, remember the narrow road, tribulation, hard-pressed, compression. When you are in tribulation and all these things are coming upon you, even in the, what does it say? Deuteronomy 4:30. Even in the last days. You see, in the beginning of the book, here God says, yes, I am going to scatter you because you are going to be disobedient to me. And you'll be scattered, but I will gather you again if you search for me. When you're in tribulation in the last days, what is the book of Revelation written for? For the people in the last days. If you then turn to the Lord your God to be obedient to his voice. Deuteronomy 4:30. When you are in tribulation and all these things come upon you, even in the last days, if you then turn to the Lord your God and shall be obedient to his voice, what will happen then? God said, if you search for me, then I will bring you back. Will our faith be enough to endure to the last days? Will your oil in your lamp be enough to wait even if the bridegroom tarries? Gather the fruit of obedience now. Endure the scorn, the rejection, the laughter, the blasphemy of those outside the ark. Let the pure virgin oil be pressed out of you on this Mitzrayim road out of Egypt, on the way to the promised land. Pray for those that are scorning and laughing and rejecting. Pray that they will come in before Genesis 7:16, before Yahuwah closes the door. Verse 23, and every living substance was destroyed that was upon the face of the ground, both man, cattle, creeping things, fowls of the heavens, and they were destroyed from the earth. Only Noah remained alive, and they that were with him inside the ark. Remember, Noah's name means rest. Rest in Hebrew, Shabbat. Remember, man has been appointed mortal sorrow, but the blessed God will come down, teaching that his death will bring the despairing Noah, will bring the despairing rest. We are despairing. We are pressed from all sides. We are walking a narrow road. It's difficult. You might be alone. But as you walk up the ramp into the ark, remember the ark of the covenant. Remember the word of God inside the ark of the covenant. As you walk inside your house, after you've painted the blood of the lamb on the doorposts, remember God said, the plague will fall on all of those outside. Remember Revelation. Those who keep his commandments will come inside the city. Outside are those that disobey him. And just remain inside. If you are in me and I am in you, then we will be together and we will have a feast together, says Joshua. Be in me. The fruit or the branch that's not inside of me, the Father will cut him off. But the branches that's in me, the Father will... Wat is snoei in Engels? The Father will cut away dead leaves so that you can bear more fruit. And when you bear fruit of obedience, then you have to allow even further testing of your faith, so that the fruit of obedience can be tasted, like olives being pressed. And when that olives are pressed and you endure to the end, then that olive oil can be used for service in the holy place. And we all want to meet our Master with something to give back to Him. And while the pure olive oil is pressed out of you, and it is being used to light the menorah, it will bring people that are in the darkness to the light. But only pure olive oil can be used in the menorah. And then your endurance can be used by God to shine the light. Yeshua says, I am the light of the world. And people will come to the light. And if it is through you, because you allow your faith to be tasted like Noah, then when we come to Him, then we can lay our sacrifice in front of Him. And who of us does not want to hear the words, well done, good and faithful servant?